What's on, where and when.
It's the Talk of Nelson.
Talk Nelson Radio.
Sport. The Mako Rugby Roundup.
You're with the Mako Rugby Roundup, and it's our great pleasure to welcome to our studio. He's a Blues player, he's an under-20 New Zealand player, and he's a Mako player as well, Anton Segner. Great to have you in here, mate. You're Mako 199, and your story is fairly well known because it's all about the fact that you were born and raised in Germany. And I haven't actually seen the German national team play, and probably not the sport that they're really usually associated with. Usually absolutely killing it in the roundball game, game of football.
Exactly.
World champions, I think, 4 times maybe.
Somewhere
Won the
around
World
there.
Cup, so pretty hard for a young German boy to be pushed into a game of rugby. So how did that come about?
Yeah, obviously don't get too many Germans coming around here to play rugby just yet anyway. But yeah, as you said, born and raised in Frankfurt, Germany, and then it was a guy named Tim Manawatu who got me over here. So I went to an international school in Frankfurt, and 2 of my best mates were from England. And then basically after school went to their house one time, and we didn't really know what to do, and they said, why don't we play rugby in the backyard? And at the time I didn't know what rugby was, never heard anything about it, but then we went into the backyard and basically didn't really play rugby, we played a game of run it straight.
Yeah. Ball rush, I think we call it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was it. And then I thought to myself, well, if this is what the game is all about, then I'm more than happy to join in.
Well,
you
you're
liked
6'4" and a reasonable body size.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I actually started off playing as a prop, so I was probably the same weight I am now, just a few centimetres shorter. But yeah, then I think it was the week after I went to the local rugby club in Frankfurt, SC 1880 Frankfurt it's called, and that's where I first met Tim Manawatu, who then coached me for my first 5 years of playing rugby. And then in 2016 he actually got the RDO role here at the Tasman Rugby Union, and then the year after, 2017, he sort of texted me and just said, I reckon you should have a crack at making the first 15 at Nelson College. And back then I was a year 11, so I was sort of like, that's a shoot for the stars sort of mindset you got there. But I was keen because, yeah, as I say, I'm in love with the game. So then as a 15-year-old, I came over here, went to Nelson College, fortunately made the first 15, and then
The rest is history.
Exactly, kept coming back for year 12, year 13,
Well,
and then...
I suppose, Nelson College did host quite a few international students. So, for an opportunity for a young person, there was the AFS exchange that used to be about, or especially when I went to school. And so... and I've hosted German interns in my office doing marketing internships, and they encourage people to go overseas from Germany. So I guess a great opportunity, and why not?
Exactly. Well, yeah, New Zealand is actually quite a popular exchange student destinations for Germans. Like, even during COVID times, I was sitting in a cafe and I was hearing people speak German. I was like, "What are you doing here? Like, you're not supposed to be here." But yeah, it's always good to hear the language. Even just around Nelson, like you get loads of German tourists, and I'm sure that'll pick up again soon.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, and then 3 years with the first 15, and you'd have to say quite successful. So tell us a little bit about your experience with the first 15 rugby.
Yeah, it was awesome, and still to this day, one of the most enjoyable rugby I've played in my career so far. And yeah, obviously my first year, that 2017 year, was Lester Whainganuku's last year. So he was my captain that year, and that's how I got to know him. And yeah, still good mates with him to this day, so that was really cool. And then year 12 and year 13, year 12 was good. That was sort of my first year as more of a senior player in the team, which was cool. And obviously played with loads of good mates, including Luca Inch, who I'm still really good mates with now, and he's obviously with Tasman and with the Highlanders at the moment too. And then like we touched on before, my year 13 was my first year of Jono Phillips being head coach, and we were really successful that year. Obviously had a great coaching staff and a really good team as well. So that was a really good year
that side, didn't you, Anton?
Yeah, I captained the year 13 side, and my vice captain was Fergus Hughes at the time, which was cool.
Right, and won the regional final and won the South Island final.
Exactly, and then went up to top 4 and got to know some of the big boys from the North Island squad, which was a bit of a different story. But yeah, it was an awesome experience being able to go up there and represent Nelson College. I think for the second time ever that was.
Yeah.
I think Mitch Hunt's side was the only other team to do it at the time. So yeah, it was cool to be a part of that.
Wonderful, and I hope this current team goes on and emulates that. You became a Mako then in 2020, and you played for the under-20s in 2021, and you were in the Crusaders development system, but you ended up playing Super Rugby for the Blues. So I'm wondering how you slipped through Razor's fingers.
Yeah, you're definitely not the first guy to ask that question, but it was just... Obviously, going to Nelson College and playing for the Mako, I was always in and around that Crusaders environment and really enjoyed that environment as well. But when the opportunities with the Blues came up, I was really keen to take that on, obviously, because it's it's a new environment, it's a change of scenery, and I was really attracted to that. And me being born and raised in a big city, Frankfurt, I was keen to sort of get back into that lifestyle a little bit. And yeah, still to this day, Auckland compared to rest of New Zealand sort of seems like a whole different country, just because it's such a big city. But like I say, I think it's because of the fact that I was born and raised in a big city, is that I really enjoyed the life up there and enjoy the lifestyle up there. And there's obviously a good bunch of lads within the Blues environment, and yeah, enjoy the coaching staff as well in Leon and Tom Coventry. So yeah,
has Tom Coventry helped your game a lot?
Definitely. He's been an awesome coach, and not just on set piece, because he's really good about his detail within that area, obviously, but also around the breakdown. Like I think he brings a really good aggressive mindset to the breakdown on both sides of the ball. That's on attack and defense, and I think sort of trying with the coaches here at Tasman, trying to adopt that mindset a bit that he sort of introduced to me, because yeah, it obviously works. And yeah, we had a good year up there. Just that last hurdle hurt us a little bit.
Yeah, and you got some game time, didn't you?
Exactly, yeah. So when I first signed that contract, I didn't expect to get nearly as much game time as I ended up getting. I think I played about 7 or 8 games in the end, and yeah, enjoyed every minute on the field.
Yeah, well, mind you, we love seeing you out there playing and representing the region at that high level. Now, I want to get back to your family. Because obviously they must be pretty cool people to let you come all this way for a rugby experience, and now of course you're probably here to stay, because I'm pretty certain.
Well, yeah, like he can't go home now.
I'm pretty certain he wants to play for the black jersey and not a red and yellow and black.
I don't even know what that jersey colour is. Yeah,
red, yellow, and black. I think it is.
Yeah, there you go.
But do they get to watch your Mako and your Super Rugby matches by live stream, or how do they get to watch you play?
Yeah, they do. They do it by live stream. So they've got they use a VPN for it. So it's sort of to trick the internet that they're watching it from New Zealand, and that's how they get access to Sky Sport New Zealand. And my dad, or my whole family, my 2 brothers and my mum, they get up early mornings to watch my games, which is pretty cool. And then usually after the game, when I go onto my phone, I always have a message from my dad giving me feedback, and it's always
has he become a bit of an expert?
Yeah. Well, he reckons anyway.
That's wonderful. And I know your mum holds you in highest fondest regards, because she made a big trip to come and watch you play and surprised you at a super game in Australia.
Yeah, it was over in Perth actually. So we went out for a team dinner in Perth, and then I was sitting there, and then I think it was the team manager. He said that we've got a new forwards coach, and then I was sort of confused and turned around, and there she was, and she caught me off guard. All right, got a bit emotional in front of the boys, but nah, it was awesome to see her again. And then and then she actually travelled back with the team back to Auckland, and then my dad was the first tourist into the country as well after all that COVID stuff.
So he got here too.
Yeah,
how wonderful.
He got here too, and they managed to watch a couple of our Blues games, which was cool. And then obviously after the Blues season, I managed to go back to Germany for 3 weeks as well, which was cool to see my brothers and see all my friends and family back there.
And that would have been wonderful. But I hear you went back to your local club, and was there a final on? And is it true that you got treated a bit like a rock star by all of our fans over there?
Yeah, Weaver. It was awesome timing actually. So I caught the flight back the week after the final, obviously, and landed on a Thursday night, German time, and then that Saturday was the club final, which fortunately my club was a part of and won as well, actually. So it was really cool to be a part of that. And a cool story was that I was watching the game, and then I look up at the stands, which were surprisingly packed with people, and then I see 2 Mako jerseys, and I was like,
wow.
Two Tasman jerseys on literally the other end of the world, and so I go up to the guys and I shoulder tap them, and they sort of just stare at me for 2 minutes because they couldn't believe that it was me, and it was just cool to see that I've got that sort of support back home.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Well, here's the dream, mate. Here's my vision, is that you'll make the All Blacks, you'll end up captaining the All Blacks one day. This is what I believe, and that there'll be a tour, and on the way through they'll stop in for a game in Frankfurt against the German national side, and you'll lead it out. So there you go, mate.
That sounds like an awesome dream to me.
I'll put it out there, and if it comes true, you owe me $20.
All right, there you go. Yep.
Or a signed Mako jersey.
Yeah, or a signed Mako, yeah.
Either or, both.
Okay, lastly with the Mako, so in that group, who do you hang out with?
Everyone, really.
Everyone?
Yeah, I consider most of my teammates, if not all of them, obviously my mates. But obviously from school, Luca Inch is one of my best mates in the team, just because I've known him for so long, and his family as well. They've played a big role in my life in New Zealand. So he's definitely one of my closest ones. And then other people like Sione Havili, because he's sort of taken me under his wing ever since I joined the Mako environment. Hugh Renton as well, he's another one. So it's us loose forwards.
So those senior loose forwards really helping you in your game, and that's what you will do to the next lot who come in also.
Yes, definitely. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
So who's the biggest pest?
Apart from Luca Ring.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say him, actually. Your previous guest, Ethan Blackadder.
Oh, right.
He's a bit of a pest, actually, yeah. He's a bit of a character, but yeah, the team is full of pretty, of little pests, so there's loads of names to go around.
Are you
but all good pests. All good
Are you
pests.
a pest?
I don't consider myself a pest. No. I'm one of the few that aren't.
All right, there you go. Thanks very much, Anton. You're with the Mako Rugby Roundup.
The Mako Rugby Roundup. It's the talk of Nelson.
Talk Nelson Radio.